Hello, this is Kristen. I thought I would bring you along on this initial page journey. This is that Squared Delusions journal that I have mentioned up above in my little blog post here. And there is something to be said about this first initial page. I am grabbing, this happens to be the Tim Holtz Resist. I think it's supposed to be a spray, but you know how sprayers go. Do those things ever work? I think the initial spray works, and then after that, all bets are off. So anyway, I am just using my finger, and we'll go ahead and put down a little bit of that resist to begin with. This happens to be Golden's Quinn, I think it's Quinn Red. Quinn Crimson? How's that? Quinn Crimson. I'll confirm for you in the blog post and make sure that I got the right color for you. But I do love this color. It actually washes out to a really lovely shade of red. But beforehand, I thought we would go ahead and lay down maybe just a little masking tape and I'm believing some collage just to add just a few, I don't know, textural elements. Just something else to add to the page before we really get started as far as playing goes. So I am just using, again, a little collage and some masking tape. I am kind of offsetting, again, based on where I had put down my initial fingerprints, and kind of building a little, I don't even know what to call it, cluster. How's that? We're building a little paper collage cluster off to the right side of that page. How is that? In somewhere, probably deep in these recesses of my mind, I marginally am maybe thinking about composition and kind of weights. How's that? Heaviness, that kind of thing. So we'll add a few pencil marks, again, super light, but again, just adding something else to the page just to break it up a little bit. Oh, I gotta move my coffee for you. You just never know here. But anyway, again, this is a Delusions journal. Super love the weight of this paper. Really loved, again, this square size. The other journal that I had talked about in the blog post, again, is the larger one. I want to say it's closer to like a 8 by 11. This one, I just thought that between the square size and between the square and the size. How's that? That this one felt just way more doable for me based on my location. Easier to manage and for me to cut loose just a little bit more versus having something a little bit larger. So that is probably somewhat of why I picked what I picked here. So love the little sprinkles. And again, you can see how the resist spray with the fingerprints works just fantastically by pushing that paint off to the side and allowing that color page, the page of the color. Anyway, regardless, you can see the underneath color peeking through that paint here. And this is just one of the watercolor crayons, the Caran d'Ache. And again, just adding another shade color, a few scribbles, and by wetting it initially, you can get a little extra play. Like it looks different than obviously the dry crayon. And again, some of that is maybe what we're looking for. This, I believe, is a watercolor pencil. Yes, it is a watercolor pencil. And I love just being able to make larger shapes with that pencil. And again, just creating different marks. Again, something different other than the crayon and the paint. And I happened to notice that this Pour paintbrush that, again, is totally my favorite, but is well loved and abused, really had kind of unique marks if you were painting, essentially kind of right up and down. It had kind of really unique marks. And so, again, was adding back in some of the paint by itself, just to kind of weight that color and weight, like a heaviness with the color. So when you saw me go over the pencil line, again, that is just plain water, again, trying to create a little variety and interest, and again, kind of blend out maybe some of the pencil line versus just leaving it plain or dry or however it initially had appeared. And sometimes the sprinkles, I feel like, create kind of a wash if you're a watercolorist, or have taken a watercolor class. You'll know that they talk about washes. I feel like sometimes the sprinkles are similar to a wash where it will kind of blend. The whole point is to blend kind of colors, areas, that sort of thing. And so by doing the sprinkles, that too provides kind of a wash over the top. Again, here I'm just grabbing a different type of pencil. This one again is kind of this nice light blue. I think it's actually a large crayon, to be fair, not a pencil at all, but the marks are really different. And this happens to be ink. It is water soluble, and so it does move when reactivated with water. So again, sometimes when you're playing, and that's part of the lesson sometimes that you learn, is water-based and when you can use those. And when you can't, or realize that if you put them down too early that they can react and move, and you just have to be prepared for that. But my intention was to basically use my spray bottle and kind of blend that out and just allow it to kind of play and really, I don't know, spread and do its thing. And so again, you can see me kind of helping move and manipulate that color to where I really wanted it to be at. And allow gravity sometimes to do its own thing and not have to push and pull so much by ourselves. We can allow it to be slightly more organic in its own sense. And again, just allow it to kind of run and bleed and find its own spots. Although I had felt like I probably washed too much off, and so I'll come back in again, just adding little bits back into it, again, to kind of add my darks, shall we say, back into that ink. And I just really enjoyed this play, this initial page here. Really taking my time and making marks and just exploring the color and how everything was blending or not blending and how it was all coming together here. You can see that again, as I'm getting maybe closer to having this page finished, my work is maybe smaller, more intentional. I was probably scraping off just a little bit of the paper pulp, actually, by pushing into it when it's so wet. And then I came back again with that crayon just to bring that line and color kind of all the way down and through instead of leaving it just really isolated up at the top there. Blending out that crayon, the mark that I just made, to just make sure that, again, it looks cohesive all the way through. And I apologize, but it was just a stencil off on that right side in that orange. Again, really makes it pop here. Thanks so much for watching.